Your soul comes into this world to begin and complete the first stage of its evolutionary ascent. As it rises toward a paradisiacal state of life and returns to the place it once came from, it is meant to pass through 3 stages of spiritual development. The first stage and state of life for your soul is the physical material plane. The second state and process of its development is semi-material, morontial. And the final completing stage of your evolution and development is the spiritual state of your soul. Your soul develops through a process of spiritual ascent into higher vibrations. It opens within itself the greatness of the divine origin and fulfills the greatness of creative power in the cosmos, returning to the place from which it once came to this planet. This planet began its evolutionary process from a microelement, from a microorganism, passing through different stages of formation. The water source of life, the state of the plant world, and the animal state. Then, becoming human, the soul entered the human body and stepped onto the first path of its unfolding, development, and ascent. In order for your nature, your purpose, and the state of your soul to be revealed, your soul enters the path of a threefold state of development. By your very nature, you are multifaceted and multidimensional, and the state of your soul is meant to unfold through 3 components, just like your nature, body, mind, and energy. What you call spirit reveals this threefold state, without which a human being would not truly be human. And through this threefold state, your soul unfolds in 3 aspects of its being: the physical, material plane of life, the semi-material plane, and the spiritual plane of the soul's evolution. This process was created by the Creator Himself. And each of you has been given this ability, this possibility, to become as perfected as the Creator Himself. Your soul has no words. It does not speak to you in words. It speaks to you through feelings, through your inner sensitivity. But this sensitivity is developed only in people who are growing spiritually. Sensitivity is the first higher ability, the first higher possibility of hearing your soul through your feelings. Your soul is trying to speak to you. It is trying to reach through the granite wall of your mind. And in this way, it creates what we may call primary impulses within you. You experience these impulses as intuition. And intuition is the primary source of knowledge and conversation with your soul. When intuition speaks to you, the mind does not have time to become involved. In other words, you receive an impulse of conviction, an inner knowing, an inner certainty that something is true, before you have even had time to think about it. Thought comes afterwards, once you begin to think. But my friends, the ego-driven mind does not sleep. Very often it activates its own programs of awareness, interpretation, reflection, and reasoning around the very question you are asking your soul. And often, when a person does not listen to the soul, does not listen to intuition, but instead listens to the analysis of the ego-driven mind, they make mistakes. But the soul still continues to work with you and to help you. The soul wants experience, it wants development. That is why it came here, into this body, onto this physical plane. But alongside the soul, you also have the mind, the intellect. Do you understand? And from childhood, you do not receive the right upbringing or the right development. You are not developed in the right way. If what I teach you were taught in schools, kindergartens, institutes, and universities, your souls would already be at a very high level of development. And with knowledge of all things, they would be able to bring new technologies and new possibilities to this planet, where people could ease one another's labor, and where you could live in a united state of joy.